All right. Tom Ward, if you would like to kick us off, we have Mr. Clay Collard here. If you want to go ahead and ask the first question. And then up next will be Mr. Jay Anderson. Tom, it's all you.
Hi Clay, Tom Ward from Give Me Sport here. Just a quick question. How are you finding life in the bubble?
Man, it's easy. Everything's laid out for you. Everything's taken care of. So, yeah, it's easy for me, man. I'm just ready, chomping at the bit to get in the cage, man.
And my final question is, have you bumped into Pettis yet?
Yeah, I mean, we ran into each other in the hall. He's walking around here like he owns the place, but what can you do?
All right, up next is Jay Anderson.
Hey, Clay, thanks very much for the time today, and welcome back. I know it's been a while, obviously, lost 2020 due to the pandemic, and then you come back and you get the news that you're going to be fighting Anthony Pettis, which is a huge opportunity in terms of eyeballs and the intention on this fight. Just give us an idea of your immediate reaction to this matchup.
I was actually very excited. I was telling all the people I'm in touch with PFL that I wanted him or the champ Natan first. So, I mean, I like fighting the tough guys if you don't know that yet. So.
All right, up next we have Harry Mack.
Hey Clay, Harry Mack from the Bookies Basement here. Hope all is well. So you're a 4-1 betting underdog in your PFL debut against Anthony Pettis coming up this week. So is that something that affects your mindset going into a fight at all?
Man, if you know anything about me, you know I like being the underdog. Go ahead and count me out. I love proving everybody wrong. So.
Awesome. Up next, we have Simon Romero.
Hey Clay, Simon Romero, Behind the Grind. Your boxing experience in Top Rank was something that was big in your career. So how much better do you feel that that played dividends in your MMA career specifically?
I mean, honestly, I feel like that year of boxing did nothing but better my all-around fight game. I never stopped training mixed martial arts. I just got some different looks and I fought people with hands like boxers. So, yeah, I think it helped me out tremendously boxing for that year.
All right, up next, Justin David Kish. Justin, you out there? You might be muted, buddy. All right, we will come back to you. How about Will Getling?
Hey, Clay, this is Will from the Fight Gods podcast. I was wondering, speaking on your boxing career, will you continue boxing or are you going to start getting back just into MMA at the moment?
Right now I'm focused on PFL and I'm focused on winning this belt. So I would like to win it multiple years in a row. So right now the focus is on mixed martial arts. We'll see what the future holds though. So.
All right, up next, Darnell.
Hi, Clay, Darnell Giovanni with MMA Island. You fought Max Holloway in the past. Do you think you'd want to have that rematch sometime in the future?
I don't want to have to make the cut to 45 again, but if he wants to meet me at 55, or I might be able to make 50. No, I've wanted that rematch for a while. I would love to fight him again. I'm not even the same person as back then, so I think it would be a great fight, very entertaining fight. So who wouldn't want that?
All right, up next, let's go ahead with Danny.
Hey, Clay. A lot of people are considering Pettis the favorite to win the whole tournament. So I was just wondering, first, what are your thoughts on Pettis joining PFL and being in your division? And second, do you think it's fair that that he's being considered the favorite to win the whole thing?
Man, he's got to get past me first. So, yeah, he's got to get past me. He's got to get past the champ. I mean, there's a lot of really good talent here in the PFL, and the fact that he's coming over and thinking he's gonna just, everybody thinks he's just gonna steal the show. I don't see it. But yeah, he is very talented and he is very tough. So, he's got to get past me first.
Yeah, for sure. And you mentioned like he's walking around like he feels like he owns the place. Can you expand on that a little bit and your interactions that you've had so far with him in the bubble?
People wanting to take pictures with him, and he's just, I don't know, the guy just gives off that, like, he gives that off, so that's just what I see. So
yeah, does it annoy you? Does it bother you at all?
Man, not a whole lot bothers me. I'm just ready to fight, man.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and ask the question for Justin David Kish. What do you know about Anthony Pettis, and what are your preparations going into this fight?
I mean, what do I know about Anthony Pettis? I've been watching him since I was, in my early teens, so I know a lot about Anthony. As far as fighting him goes, I just got to fight my fight, I trust in my coaches. We have a game plan, and I'm going to stick to it, and it's going to work.
Awesome, thank you. Mike Owens from Mike Owens Media.
Hello, Clay. This is Michael from Mike Owens Media. What is the single biggest advantage your recent run in boxing has given you in anticipation for this tournament?
Right here, man, the hands. I believe boxers have the best hands around as far as when it comes to fighting. There's kickboxing, Muay Thai, there's all this, but I think boxing rules on the feet. And so I think boxing is my advantage.
Thank you.
Up next, Alex from Cage Side Press.
Hi, Clay. I just got a quick question for you. How does it feel to be the main event on ESPN?
Well deserved. I've been working hard, and I've been working at this for many, many years, so it feels well deserved.
Thank you.
Up next, Simon Romero. Simon, you out there? All right, let's go with Andrew Benjamin.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Hey, Clay, I have a question. You're talking about the boxing portion of MMA, but I'm curious to know, as we know that Anthony Pettis is maybe one of the best grapplers in his weight division. I'm curious to know, have you worked on grappling defense or the ground game by any chance with this upcoming fight?
Well, obviously, yes. This is a mixed martial arts fight, and I am a mixed martial artist. So I've been working my ground game with black belts and sambo, and I've been working wrestling. And so, yes, the answer is yes.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Up next, Bobby Whitney.
Hey, what's going on? It's Bobby Whitney from Last Out Media. I noticed you were on a hot streak. Yeah, won your last 2 fights, but of course there's been some delay, and now you're in the bubble. Has that changed your training or your momentum in any way, as far as how you plan to go into this fight with such a layoff?
Man, I feel like I've been waiting for this. Well, I have been waiting for PFL for 2 years now. I've been training for PFL for 2 years now. So, as far as my momentum, I'm like a locomotive. So.
All right, I have a question from Matthew from Last Out Media. Clay, do you feel pressure to use wrestling or grappling early to reestablish yourself in an MMA fight?
No. I'm gonna go out there and fight my fight. If it goes there, I'm prepared. But I mean, as far as everybody knows what I like to do, and that's punch people in the face. So I'm trying to punch Anthony in the face.
Awesome, thank you. Thomas Friedman?
Good afternoon, Clay. I'm Thomas Friedman from 3300 and Climbing. And straying away from the fight real quick, I just want to know if you have a favorite playlist that you like to listen to when you're training and how it affects the way that you train.
I mean, I just hit my like songs on Spotify. So it mixes from, heavy rap to Tina Turner. So yeah, I just throw on and I get down to whatever, man. It doesn't really, as long as I have a little something in the background, that's all I'm looking for. So
right on. Thank you very much.
Next is Alder.
Hi, Clay. This is Alder from Empire Sports Media in New York. I just would like to ask, what attracted you to the PFL? And the second question would be, are we going to expect a knockout with your boxing background?
I wouldn't blink because very, very easily, we could be seeing knockouts. So as far as being attracted to the PFL, I love the tournament style and obviously, the winning prize. So yeah, I like the fact that if you fight and you win, you get to move on. There's not a whole lot of politics behind it. So.
Ryan Shepard.
Hey, Clay, it's Ryan from Death Pen Media in Brooklyn, New York. I saw that you're wearing the King Chad shirt in honor of your brother. I just wanted to ask you, what kind of inspiration does your family give you heading into this fight?
My me and my brothers were everything to each other. So I think I've talked on the phone with my older brother every single day since I've been here, So they're the whole reason I do this, I fight for my family and I fight for my fans, and that's about it. So.
Up next, Global Fight Talk.
Can you hear me?
Gotcha now.
All right. Hi, Clay. This is Sab from Global Fight Talk. How you doing?
Could you repeat? Sorry.
I said this is Sab from Global Fight Talk. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Great. You obviously have a wealth of combat sports experience. You said in a recent interview that you don't really consider yourself a boxer. You just have that tool in there. How do you feel like you're gonna approach this fight as an MMA fight instead of boxing? How much better is it to go in with all your tools?
Like I said before, I'm chomping at the bit to get in the cage, man. Boxing was fun, but yeah, I think I'm a much better fighter and I'm a lot more creative, when I can throw more than just my hands. So I'm very excited to get in the cage again and away from the ring.
All right, thank you.
All right. Sean Sheehan.
Hi, Clay. Hi. I just want to ask you, obviously, there's been a lot of boxing questions here, but I want to just ask about a small technical adjustment maybe that you had to make going from MMA to boxing and now going from boxing back to MMA. Is there anything you can tell us, a small maybe technical thing that you had to change?
It's just my mindset, man, and the way I move my angles. The angles are a little bit different, but yeah, it's just my mindset. I'm ready to go in there as a mixed martial artist, and that's I've been working at this. Like I said, I've been working at being a mixed martial artist since I was started this at 18 years old. So.
All right. I have another question from Justin Kish. I will read to you. During your training camp, did you introduce anything new in this camp in preparation for the Pettis fight, or was it a normal camp?
Yeah, no, it's pretty normal. We prepared for everything, you know. I did a little more swimming than usual. Jumped in the pool a little more. I upped everything to the next level, you know. So I trained harder than I've ever trained before getting ready for this. So I'm definitely ready to rock, and I'm definitely well prepared. So.
Okay. Up next, we have Curtis.
Hey, Clay. Just a question, man. So do you think this is like a coming out party for you? You know, everybody is expecting, or most people are expecting, you know, Anthony Pettis to win the series this year. But do you think that if you can go and get past him being the first fight in the main event on ESPN, that this is like your coming out party, that you're here to show who you are?
110%. That's how I'm looking at it, man. It's time for me to come out and do my thing and shock the world and let everybody know what's up. Cash Clay's in the building, baby.
Thank you, sir.
Up next, we have Shantae.
Hello, Clay. How are you? My question is, I'm with 3300 and climbing, by the way. And my question is, I know you don't have a specific music that you listen to get ready for a fight, but how do you choose the song that you walk out to? And what effect does that have on you when you get in the ring?
We don't get to pick our walkout song for this one, which is kind of a bummer. I was gonna walk out to a song that reminded me of my little brother. Yeah, I mean, there could be 1,000 different reasons I pick a song. It's just whatever I'm feeling at the moment. So.
Thank you.
All right, let's go ahead with Tanae.
Hi, Clay. This is Tanai Shah from MMA Island. I would like to know if you have a Cassius Clay prediction, like a Mystic Mac prediction, if you have your own.
Well, I thought it was 5 rounds. It's only 3 rounds, so I mean, I like to put him away end of the 3rd. But,
awesome. Thank you so much.
All right, and then up next, Daniel.
Hi, Clay. This is Breeze with the MMA Breeze. I wanted to ask you, Anthony Pettis is the most followed guy in your bracket as far as stardom goes and Instagram following and that stuff. So with your career, you've been around a long time as well and faced a lot of worthy opponents in the UFC. Pettis, it has that asset that's valued a lot today in MMA, which is the stardom. How important is it to you to not just win this fight to move on in the bracket, but to have the ESPN main event slot and hopefully steal some of that following and star power going into the rest of this bracket?
It's very exciting. I've never really been huge on social media. I just kind of post what I post and do my thing, but I love fans. I love fighting for the fans. It's a big bummer they're not here to enjoy this, but I'm trying to be the next big thing around here. So I do that first by beating Anthony Pettis and, stealing some of that clout for sure.
Cool. Thank you.
All right, Clay. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
All right. Up next, we are going to be bringing Bubba Jenkins. So if you will go ahead and start raising your hands if you have questions for Bubba.
What up, though? I ain't as tall as Clay, so I'm gonna go ahead and bring this thing down so y'all get my good side.
All right. Let's have our first question go to Harry Mack.
Hey, Bubba, Harry Mack from the Bookies Basement. Hope you're doing well. So I want to know, how do you think the PFL featherweight division stacks up with Braves?
I think the PFL division is a little bit more tough because of all the caliber of wrestlers. The organization overseas lacks the competition in wrestling, and I believe the more wrestlers you have in the division it makes it the more difficult division, because if you look at historically, most of the better champions have a base in that. So the lack of wrestlers makes me feel like they can't handle me, and the more wrestlers that there are makes me feel like they put up a little bit more of a difficult challenge. But I am a wrestler at base, so I don't wrestle the wrestlers and I don't strike the strikers. I try to mix it up the best way I can, and that's just the way I see it.
There you go. Thank you.
Yeah.
Up next, Damon Martin.
Crowded.
Damon, you here?
A lot of people out there.
All right, Damon, we're gonna come right back to you. Tom Ward, go ahead.
Hey, Bubba. Tom Ward from Gimme Sport here. How are you doing?
Wonderful, wonderful.
I just want to read you a quote that you did with an interview with My MMA News. You said, "I used to beat Lance Palmer for a Big Mac and an orange soda." I was just wondering if you could touch on that a bit and explain your history.
Yeah, man. Me and Palmer go way back, as far as like 12, 13 years old, and wrestling in the same tournaments, big national tournaments when we were in, middle school, high school, and things like that. But I wrestled him multiple times in college. And if you know anything about the NCAA, they don't like to pay their athletes. So all I could afford was a Big Mac and an orange soda, and that was all I was looking forward to after any match. And after I beat Palmer, that was the things that I ate. So a lot of times, when I was cutting weight, and my coach would be like, "Hey man, if you win this match, you can get a Big Mac and an orange soda." That was like our little thing. And one time I had Palmer on the menu, and I beat him, ate him up a lot, and I was quickly at the next McDonald's ordering that Big Mac and an orange soda. So literally, I used to beat Palmer for a Big Mac and orange soda. It's amazing that they're giving me some commas for it now, but I'll take it how I can get it.
So following on from that then, if you win the tournament, what are you going to buy first?
I'm going to buy headquarters, a crib, a house, a home. I got a jeweler who sponsors me. Everything that I need, I get sponsored because, I got a good look, I got a good face, I got a face for TV, not for radio. So it just makes sense to, get all that stuff sponsored and endorsed. But when I spend my coins, it's going to be on something to leave an inheritance for my children. That's for sure.
All right, Damon Martin, are you here now?
I am. Bubba, you and Lance, as you mentioned, do go back a long ways with the college wrestling, but he had said that there's no real rivalry. It was, 15 years ago, whatever it was when you actually wrestled. Is there a rivalry between you two, or is it just a competitive thing?
It's a competitive thing for sure. Rivalries is when you go back and forth, and he hasn't gone back and forth with me. He's came short multiple times over. So a rivalry is, back and forth, you, me. It's just been me. And again, it's going to be me, and we'll see how it goes. Like you said, you're right. It's not a rivalry at all.
Were you glad that PFL gave you him right out of the gate in your first fight?
No, I was not glad. I was excited, but I wasn't glad. I figured beating a man like Palmer would give me $1 million, since he's been the two-time $1 million champion. So to fight him in the first round, which is nowhere near $1 million, is a massive pay cut for having to do the same amount of work. But I do feel like it's a favorable matchup. I do feel like on paper and in reality, it looks good for me in my camp. I'm a bad man, and he's the party boy, and I plan to crash every balloon that gets blown up.
Thanks, Bubba.
Up next, Mike.
Hello, Bubba. This is Michael from Mike Owens Media. Given Lance Palmer has won the PFL tournament twice, how big of a win would this be on your resume?
Oh, it'd be massive. I'm known as the champ killer. In college, I beat 10 national champions. I've gone to other organizations and beaten their champions right off the bat. This is not something new for me, but it would be massive. Palmer is a tough fighter, a tough individual. He's gone 11-0. He's not only just a two-time $1 million champ winner, he's won the championships in other organizations before this one. So he's a very formidable opponent. I think people get my banter and the way that I speak as if I'm downplaying who Palmer is. I know exactly who Palmer is, and that's why I speak the way I speak. He's tough. He's dangerous. Out of 25 fights, I believe the man's won 22 of them. He is no joke, but he is not where I am yet.
Superb. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right. Up next, Ronald Smith.
Hello, y'all can hear me?
Yes.
This is Ronald E. Smith from Getting Real. Bubba, how you doing?
I'm always good, man. Grandma cookies.
That's what I'm talking about. But the one thing I want to ask you is how every other fighter, just like all of us, 2020 was a very hard year. So for you during that whole time, where was your head at and how were you able to keep focused through those times?
Man, I'm a big believer in Christ, and the Lord's reserved me multiple times in Bellator and in other organizations. I have had long layoffs, alpha wins, and long layoffs between fights. So it wasn't anything new for me to have, a year off or some time off between fights. So I really just focus on the things that I've always focused on, is getting better, not lying to self, looking myself in the mirror, making sure that I check all the boxes when I come to the places that I lack. And, I end up building a gym, end up becoming a head coach, end up becoming an African-American all in the Wrestling Hall of Fame. So, I checked a lot of those boxes off my goals while I wasn't in the cage, but it just was a place to kind of focus in on myself and my family and try to get to a better place when the season does come back. And we here, baby, we live.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and read a question from Dustin Kish. You last fought in MMA back in 2019. Do you believe in ring rust, or is this more of a mental thing?
It's mental. It's always going to be mental. Like I said, I've been preserved very well. I've been in the game for a long time without having as many fights as a lot of these other people. Like I said, Palmer's got 25 fights. I believe I have 19, 20 maybe. But with those fights, I've had so many different layoffs and, stuff like that. So my first part of my career, I was rapidly fighting, and then it slowed down drastically. So it just gave me opportunities to get better inside the cage and outside the cage as a person, as a man. I've grown from being a college graduate to becoming a husband, to becoming a father, and, trying to mix all those things together. It's got me to where I am today. So all glory to the Lord, but I'm here now and we ready to go.
Up next, Darnell.
How you doing, Bubba? Just wanted to ask you about the time that you spent on The Ultimate Fighter with John Jones and what you learned the most through that experience, and the difference between you then and now.
The difference between me then and now is, like I said, I'm probably a little bit more mature. I know the game, the way the game works. It's not a tough man's sport. I was taking, at that time, I would fight anyone, anywhere, anytime. And I still have that mindset, but to be strategic about things, to have matchups, to look at each opponent with a different eye, to be more professional. You go from becoming a challenger to becoming a contender, and then I became champion. So the mindset obviously changes as you develop. So that's one thing that I got to do better. And just being under the wing, even though I'm older than Jones, just being under the wing of what superstardom was, 7 weeks in Vegas was a different experience at that level. So I got to learn a lot, got to see a lot, got to be around a lot of different people. And, I'm a networking spider. I figure out how to get in the best places, find myself at the best tables, and people, they favor me. There's something about, I guess, my transparency, or just my little swag that I have, my characteristics, my personality, that, once you know Bubba, you kind of dig him. I'm not hard to get along with.
Thank you.
Up next, Will Getling.
Hey, Bubba, thanks for being here today.
Thank you. I had nowhere else to go.
So I've noticed that you've had some amazing finishes in your past. Are you planning on finishing, Lance?
Absolutely. I don't know if you've heard this or not, but I'm going to do in less than 15 minutes what they couldn't do in the last 2.5, 5 years. So I plan to knock him out in the second round. I see one round of grace and one round of pace.
Awesome. Good luck.
Up next, Global Fight Talk.
Hi, Bubba. This is Sap from Global Fight Talk. I just wanted to ask what kind of opportunity this is for you and how excited are you?
It's a big opportunity. I'm fighting the champ in his organization and what they would call his weight. It's a major opportunity. Anytime you can fight for the comments that we're fighting for, or the check that we're fighting for, it's obviously game changing. And I'm a very smart individual. You put $1 million in my pocket, I'm the NBA. I'll never be broke again.
Appreciate you. Good luck.
Yes, sir.
Up next, Alder.
Hey, Bella. Thanks for doing this. I'm Alder from Empire Sports Media in New York. I would just like to ask, what's your relationship with Lance off the cage? And since you've been beating him in college, do you think that mental edge will help you in this match?
It will absolutely help me in this match. I feel as though I'm in his head, whether he wants to believe it or not. He's thought about the things that we've gone through. And he can dismiss that it was 15 years ago, but like one of the movies says, people don't forget. And, I'm pretty excited that it is him. It's someone that I'm familiar with, and, it's a big matchup. I'm pretty excited about it. My relationship with him was a really good one. Even when he came to Penn State and when I saw him at wrestling tournaments and stuff like that, we were always, laughing it up, good friends. We have the same agent, so we've been at a couple of different events over the past year together. But I've shut off a little bit of that friendship. I haven't seen him since I've been here in quarantine, but I shut off that friendship. We'll be cool. We'll shake hands. We'll be cordial. It's not going to be any weird stuff going on during the, lead up to this fight. I'm not that type of guy anyway. So it's going to be all sportsmanship, all competitiveness. But at the end of the day, I'm a competitor. I'll beat my mama in a race if she step up.
Thank you.
Daniel.
Hey, what it do, Bubba? It's Breeze from the MMA Breeze. I wanted to get
what it is.
Yeah, man, just had to be here. So I wanted to ask you. I saw something in one of the interviews with MMA Junkie about Lance and him talking about the matchup with you. He says something that's going to be a problem for you this go around is his pace and his pressure. We know you guys have a long history, and you've been on some of the biggest platforms in wrestling with Lance, and his pace and pressure didn't seem to be a problem then. Why do you think now here at PFL, another big stage, but something you're used to, why do you think that he thinks the pace will be a factor this time?
I think he thinks I'm very similar to these other fighters that has an ability to wrestle, but not be able to deal with his wrestling. Deja vu is one thing, not deja vu, but what's the lack of memory? I can't think of the word. Literally, I can't think of the word of not thinking of the word that has you lacking memory. But amnesia. That's it. Amnesia has, I believe, set in a little bit on him, but not on me. It's been 15 years, as he says, since I beat him, but I know that's playing in his head. So, man, pressure makes diamonds, and I've been under a lot of pressure my whole entire life. The fact that I can punch him more than I have to wrestle him, the fact that I can be the athlete that I naturally am, I think he discounts the athleticism that I bring to the MMA sport. That's one of the reasons why I didn't continue to be a wrestler or go on the Olympic team or stuff like that. I wanted to be more of the athlete that my body allows me to be. So I think the athleticism, the speed, the power that I bring is going to disrupt a lot of his plans. And I don't think he'll come forward as much as, he would like to say that he would. The pressure means that he's on the gas and he's coming after me. And I don't see that in none of his fights. He looks to be waiting for his takedown. He looks to be waiting for the man to make the mistake and then attack that. So, that what he's saying completely goes against who he is. He is a pressure fighter, but he's not a pressure as far as like moving the guy back. I definitely will not be the defensive guy in this fight.
Thanks, Bubba. Looking forward to it.
Yes, sir.
All right. Our last question, Sergio.
Bubba, how you doing, man? This is Sergio from the Fight Podcast.
What's up, man?
Man, maintaining the family. So check it out. You've been champion in other organizations.
Yes, sir.
But now, being the fact that you're fighting against Lance Palmer, the face of the PFL essentially, and you're on ESPN now, what does a win like that do for your profile and, again, just your career going forward?
the way that I'm about to finish Palmer is going to put me on the top 10 highlights. Me being on ESPN2, doing what I'm about to do in the second round of Palmer, dun-dun-dun. And once we hit that, we off to stardom, baby. The way that I talk, the way that I walk, the way that I move, the way that I groove, people dig that. And you can't deny who I am. You can't deny I'm a bad man. You won't be able to deny what I'm about to do to Palmer.
There you go. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate it.
No problem.
All right, Bubba, thank you very much.
Yeah. Y'all have fun?
Heck yeah.
I try to bring that.
All right, guys, up next, we have Marcin Held. Also, too, if you guys don't mind, when I call your name, if you'll just introduce what outlet you write for, post for, work for, that would be awesome. And then if you'll go ahead and start raising your hands if you have a question for Mr. Held.
Hello?
All right. First up, let's go with Will Getling.
Hey, Marcin, Will from the Fight Gods podcast.
Hello.
I was wondering how you felt about debuting against the two-time champ.
I was really happy about it. I know he's really good, but I like I like a tough opponent. I like to fight with a good guy because I don't feel big pressure. Then I like to be a underdog, and in this fight it is good for me.
Okay, good luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mike Owens.
Hello, Marcin. This is Michael from Mike Owens Media.
Hi.
How you competed in some Bellator tournaments between 2012 and 2014. Can I ask, do you like fighting in a tournament-style formula?
I really like it because I like to fight. I like to have a fight close to each other. I don't like have a big long break between the fight, and it is what was always in a tournament in Bellator and here. When you are good prepared, is just enough to come back to the gym and keep this high level. And you don't have to make a new training camp all the times again and again. And when you are in good shape, just keep it for a longer time, and you can do 3, 4, or 5 fights. It's really good for me.
Superb. Best of luck for Friday.
Up next, Jay Anderson.
Hey, Marcin, thanks very much for the time today. I just want to build on that. I mean, you fought in a one-night tournament earlier in your career, all those Bellator tournaments. I mean, do you feel better prepared than the other fighters in the division because of that experience?
I don't think so, because a lot of guys in my category was fighting also in last year, and I mean not last year, but in last season. So they had also experience in this format. They was fighting in PFL before, so I don't think it would be my advantage or disadvantage. But I know maybe I feel good in it, so. I feel good to be in a tournament, so it's not disadvantage for me.
Great, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Up next, Sean Sheehan.
Hi, Marcin. I just want to ask you, it's been a really good time for Polish MMA recently, obviously with Jan Blachowicz and Joanna Jędrzejczyk and others. How do you feel about representing Polish MMA in the PFL and in the tournament?
I'm really happy to be here in PFL. I'm really happy that I'm first guy from Poland in PFL, but I'm sure that there will be more fighters from Poland in PFL and the UFC and everywhere, because in Poland we have really good MMA, we have really good, awesome fighters, and in the future, the Poland will be one of the best nation in MMA for sure.
Up next, Sergio. Sergio, you there? All right, we'll come back to you. Bobby? Whitney?
Yep, Marcin, what's going on? This is Bobby Whitney from Lifestyle Media. I just wanted to know, like, more than half, actually, of your victories have come by submission. Is that a strategy you plan on utilizing in your next fight?
Could you repeat?
Most of your victories have come by way of submitting your opponent. Is that the strategy you hope to use in the next fight?
It is what I always try to do in my fight, but when the opponent is good, when the guy is good on the ground, sometimes it's hard to do this. Natan Schulte is really good on the ground. He's a tough opponent, so I will try to submit him, but if it won't be possible, I will win with him by points. It doesn't matter for me. I'm really good prepared. My cardio is really good, so of course would be the best for me to submit him in the first round, and it is what I will looking for. But decision will be also good with opponent. With as tough opponent as is Natan Schulte.
Next up, Thomas. All right, let's do Andrew Benjamin. Andrew, are you out there?
Sorry about that. Andrew with MMA Sucker. I'm just curious to know, can you just specifically talk about where you see the advantages that you have when it comes to MMA against Natan Schulte? Just tell us how you see how you're a better fighter than him. Dziękuję.
I think my grappling is much better than his, so I think my main advantage will be on the ground, but also I'm not afraid about striking and wrestling, and I think I will be able to take him down. I hope easy, and I will. So, yeah, but the biggest advantage I see on the ground.
All right, up next will be Alex.
Hi, Marcin. This is Alex from Cage Side Press, and you have a lot of wins over a lot of talented fighters throughout your career. What would a win over Natan mean to you?
Could you repeat?
Yes, you have a lot of wins over a lot of talented fighters throughout your career. What would a win over Natan mean to you?
I don't understand that.
What does it mean to you? How does it make you feel to get? What does it make you feel to get a win over Natan Schulte?
Oh, okay. I think that Natan Schulte will be one of the toughest guy I was ever fight, because, like I said, he won this tournament twice. He won against really good, a lot of really good fighters. So I know that it will be one of the most valuable winning and fight in my career.
Thank you.
Up next, Danny. Danny, you out there? All right, we'll come.
Yes, sorry, I was muted. This is Danny with MMA Junkie. Marcin, you're entering this tournament, and a lot of people are thinking that Anthony Pettis is considered the favorite to win. Obviously, he's a big name, former UFC champion. I wanted to ask you first, what was your thoughts when he signed with PFL and you knew he was competing in your tournament? And also, do you think it's fair that he should be considered the favorite to win the tournament?
I mean, he's really good. He's really good, but in this tournament there is a lot of really good fighters. So, of course, I think he's one of the 5 favorite, but not maybe not the biggest one. When I heard that he gonna fight in PFL, I was glad because he's a big name. It is big. It's a good, really good. I missed the word. It's really good for organization. It's it's really good for organization for all fighters, and it's make this tournament more popular. So I was really happy about it.
Thank you.
All right, Tanai.
I'm Marcin, Tanai from MMA Island. I just wanted to know how it feels making your PFL debut 2 years from your last fight, and how has the bubble experience been so far?
I was waiting for this debut long time, but I spent this time on training. I was preparing all the time. We did a long-term training program, and thanks God I had no injury and everything was okay. So I think I'm in the best shape in my life. So I can be better prepared to this fight, and everything about the bubble. Everything is good here. We came here 70 days before fights, and we had a good place to train. We had a place with a mat, a gym. So I was able to finish my preparation over here, and everything looks really professional, really good. So there is no big problem for me to be in a bubble because I can focus on the fight. I don't have to think about normal life's things. Just think about fight and day show.
Thank you, Marcin. Good luck on Friday.
Thank you.
Up next, we have Shantae.
Hello, I'm Shantae Sharp with 3300 in climbing. And my question is, what is a song that you like to listen to get you prepared to meet your opponent in the ring?
Will you repeat?
I wanted to know, what is a song that you possibly listen to get yourself ready to step into the ring before a fight?
No. There is no there is no special music. I'm not big fan of music, so it's not big problem for me. And especially if there will not be a workout music, it's not a big deal for me. Before fight, I'm always focused on the fight. I'm not trying to hear the music, so it's completely doesn't matter for me.
All right, let's take one more question. Ronald.
This is Ronald E. Smith from Getting Real. The only question I have for you is just this. This tournament means a lot to a lot of fighters. So I want to know, what would it mean for you if you were able to win it all?
What it
would mean?
Okay. Yeah. Of course, the main prize is huge, so it will be. I never saw that money in my life, so it will be huge. But also, I never got a belt of big organization. So, of course, the money are really important, but having a belt of PFL is mean a lot for me. It's something I would like to get, and I of course I can that the belt is more pressure than the $1 million, but it is just behind the $1 million. So I won't get this belt.
All right, thank you very much. You're
Thank
all
you.
good, Marcin. Thank you. All right, up next, we are gonna bring Brendan up to the stage. If you have questions for Brendan, go ahead and raise your hand. Can you guys hear me? Okay. All right, Tom Ward.
Hey, Brandon. Nice to see a familiar face again. Tom Ward from Gimme Sport, of course. I just want to ask you about Mikhail. Are you going to be in his corner on fight night?
Unfortunately not. Previously, I actually have had my own gym and cornered and fought on the same card, and it's just too emotionally investing. It'd be really tiring on a night. We're even going to have my coach in the corner, but he doesn't speak English, so unless you take Google Translating with a phone, like it's just going to be so difficult. So apparently he's figured something out, so that's brilliant.
And how are you feeling ahead of, well, probably the next big chapter of your career?
Brilliant, mate. I've had such a fantastic camp. I've prepared vigorously all over the world. You name it, I've been there. And this is my time to shine.
And how are you going to celebrate afterwards?
You know what? When I was younger, the main focus would be the after party and what am I going to do and this and that and where are we meeting up? But I just couldn't care less now. I just want to win that much. I just want to get ready for the next one.
Will you be able to sneak in a cheeky roast?
100%, mate. That's the only thing I've been missing. Get that Sunday roast ready.
Thank you so much, Brandon, for your time.
Thank you, mate.
All right, up next, Mike Owens Media.
Hello, Brendan. This is Michael from Mike Owens Media. From one North Englishman to another, how proud are you to be representing our country as the only English fighter in the tournament?
Come on, mate. Extremely proud. I'm the only Brit in this whole organisation. I'm flying the flag. You all need to get behind me. I'm on at a decent time for once. Everyone should be in the pub. The pubs are back open. You got no excuses now. And get ready, man. They give me Sheymon Moraes. They give me a nice test. They give me a guy that's going to come forward and have a good bang out with me.
Don't worry, we're supporting you from Liverpool. Thanks for your time.
Go on, lad.
Up next, Darnell.
Hi, this is Darnell Giovanni with MMA Island. Can you explain your year after fighting one time in 2019 and not being able to fight last year with the PFL?
Hard. You know, like I say, I've been fighting since I was 16, 3 to 4 times a year. So to take this time off has been difficult, but I just kept my foot on the pedal. I was actually in Thailand preparing. I was sparring Peter Yan, Rafael Faziev, all these guys, and I just stayed in camp with them. And I just thought, you know what, I'm here now. What's the point in going home? And just kept to the game plan and just stuck with it.
Thank you.
Up next, Tariq.
Hey, Brendan, this is Tariq from the Havoc Hour. Just wanted to know, we've seen a lot of you training over in Dubai recently. Can you talk about what that experience was like? Because it seemed like you were really enjoying that.
Oh, fantastic. So many good bodies passed through. Ben and Page passed through, Raman Decker's brother, Alistair Overeem. You name it, they were just passing through like wildfire. So it was brilliant. I got, there was like a Russian section, you had the Dagestanis, they had their lot, and then you had the Brazilians, Eastern European, so you got to look for every different kind of martial art over there. And I don't know if you've seen the actual cage and the way it was located on the 9th floor, overlooking the Dubai town centre. So you'd be doing your sparring sessions and with this crazy view at night. And shout out to TK MMA, they were very hospitable while I was there.
Thanks a lot, man. Good luck.
Thank you.
Daniel Bakley.
Hey, Brendan, this is Daniel from Cage My IQ. How's the bubble treated you since you got there? And then do you feel like you've had a chip on your shoulder ever since you got snubbed from the UFC?
It seems to be the story of my life right now. Everyone just wants to talk about this Dana thing. But, I mean, I guess it is what it is. It was a very prominent point of my career. I feel like I've turned a corner now. I feel like I found my feet in this organisation. I really enjoy fighting for PFL. It's been a great experience. Obviously, I don't like the 17 days. I'm not going to sit here and say I do. Who does? But I'm getting on with it. I'm down to my last bit of weight now, and just had such a great camp and prepared so well for this fight that these 17 days didn't even matter. I got myself well ahead of schedule because I didn't know how the training would be or how the diet would be or anything. So I just came extremely well prepared. At least he can say I had enough time to prepare.
Up next, Andrew Benjamin.
Hey, Brendan, Andrew with MMAsucker.com. I'm curious to know, how do you feel that you're getting a very tough opponent right off the bat with Sheymon Moraes? And just branch off that question, where you see your advantages against him as a fighter?
I'm glad I've got a tough opponent. I mean, the goalposts have moved a lot in the PFL. I found out when I landed that only 4 are going through now, not 8. So that's a massive change. It does impact the game plan. I'm glad that they've given me Sheymon Moraes for a couple of reasons. One, because he's tried and tested in the UFC. He's beat top UFC fighters, and everybody knows who he is. So when I beat him, everybody will know who I am even more, and it'll kind of solidify how good I actually am. I mean, I think there's still questions in the air. So I think I put a massive statement out against Sheymon, and it sends a big message to the division.
Thank you. Harry Mack.
Hey, Brendan, Harry Mack from the Bookie's Basement. So I just wanted to know, we've kind of seen a lot of people speculating that this could be a breakout season for you in the PFL. So I just kind of wanted to know, in your opinion, what's the driving force behind that, do you think?
The driving force behind what? Can you repeat the last bit, please?
I'm sorry, just the driving force behind kind of, people speculating that this could be a breakout season for you.
Well, don't speculate anymore. It's about to happen. We get started on Friday. And it should be a breakout season. I mean, I put the work in for this sport. I've been in here for years. I fought all the top organizations. I fought all the top guys. I'm not a new name. It's just that a lot of people haven't seen me fight yet with the ESPN Plus platform. And the fact that the fans voted for me to be main event, does that not show how serious I'm being taken in this tournament? I mean, like I say, you've given me Sheymon Moraes, you give me a seasoned veteran who knows how to come forward, strike, and we've seen him hurt, come back. He ain't going to try and curl up in a ball and just try and take a win like the other guys are. This guy's going to try and take my head off. So that's the kind of fight that I relish.
Thank you very much. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Up next, Sav.
Hi, Brendan. This is Sab from Global Fight Talk. You're on an incredible 5-fight win streak right now. You're just 31 years old. Do you feel like you're in the prime of your career and this is your chance to send yourself to the top of the sport?
I think you've just said the answer in your question, really. 31, prime of my career, 5-fight win streak. PFL, good format, good platform to show my skills. I'm just so excited to be back in work and to be back doing what I love after so long off, and being able to come here. And I know a lot of people have not been able to go back to the jobs. A lot of people have lost family members and ill family members and things like that. So just being able to be sat in front of this camera again and being involved in my passion and getting to do what I love, that's the main thing for me. I'm just so excited to do it again.
Thanks. Good luck.
Thank you.
Jay Anderson.
Thanks very much, Jay from Cage Head Press. Brendan, I mean, the Contender Series journey to here has been quite an interesting one. Last year you had the solo fights, but I'm wondering if the feeling is any different this year, just because there's so much more on the line. I mean, now there's the possibility of $1 million, and that's obviously a big thing for you.
I mean, one thing that I will say is, you know what, I'm happy that I've got direction in my career now, because when I was going through the Contender and all this, and I wanted to be in the UFC and this and that, everything was like up in the air. When was I going to fight again? When was the next paycheck? What organization was I going to fight for? Now that there's a goal, I know the dates I'm going to be fighting, I know the potential opponents. I feel like a man with the belief that I've got and the strategy and the actual dates in place now and the structure. It makes it even more dangerous for my opponents.
All right, thanks very much.
Thank you.
All right, I have a question from Justin Kish. I will read. What was your camp like for your fight, and is this your toughest challenge of your career thus far?
Good question. So 6 months of it was in Tiger Muay Thai in Thailand. 6 months of it was in Dubai. I sparred from, I don't know, the amount of rounds I've done for this fight is unbelievable. The amount of preparation that has gone into it, the time and effort has been incredible. Would I say it's the toughest fight in my career? It's definitely up there. You know, I've had some stern tests in the past, but Moraes brings his own set of problems. But so do I. I'm the one on the 5-fight win streak. I'm the one with the momentum, and I will be the one that will get the victory.
All right. Up next, Sean Sheehan.
Hi, Brendan. Sean Sheehan here from Severe MMA. A lot of people are asking you about MMA. I want to ask you about something a little bit different. You spoke about your passions. I know football is one of them as well. What are your thoughts on this European Super League? I know you're a big Man United fan.
You know what it is? I don't know enough about it because I've not been over there and I've not really been in the news. I'm just getting bits and bobs of information. So I'm like, oh, they've made their own league and this and that. So until I know the full picture, it's hard to really judge. But I see that everyone's writing back home about it. So it must be major news.
All right, up next, Ronald Smith.
This is Ronald E. Smith and Getting Real. Brendan, I just got this question to ask for you. You just before you did mention you're on ESPN Plus now, a bigger platform with new eyes. So, what can these new fans expect from you in this performance?
The fact that the fans voted for this to be the main event on ESPN Plus tells you everything you need to know about this fight and my fighting ability and Sheymon's fighting ability. I feel like I've been drawn a tough fight from a debut. Some guys haven't. I mean, that's going to come into effect when these points start picking up. But you know, I'm not in it for easy fights. I've never had an easy fight in my career. Even on the Contender series, I got the toughest fight of the night. So, you know, this is what I'm in this sport for. Touching 31 now, the prime of my career, and I feel like I'm in the elite of the world. So if I feel that, then who does it matter who they give me? So that's what I'll be excited to show everyone on ESPN Plus.
And when it's all said and done, what would this tournament mean to you if you win it all?
If I sat here and said to you how I would feel when I look in my bank and it says $1 million, I'd be lying because I can't really fathom a guess at it. But, you know, I'm guessing it'll feel quite nice.
Sure, you're right. Thank you.
All right. Up next, Tanai, excuse me.
Hey, Brendan, Tanai from MMA Island. Could you talk to us about the impact coach Tony Musa has had on you and having him in your corner for this trip and this whole fight experience?
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about a guy that taught me my first punch at 16-year-old to watch me to come from a boy to a man, really, 31 now. He's been my coach. He's been in every corner I've ever had. And yeah, he's my inspiration, my motivation. And it's just great to take him along this journey. Like when we first met, he was in a bit of a bad place. I was a young kid. And, you know, now he's got everything he wanted. He's got the house he wanted. He's got the girl he wanted. I've got everything I wanted. And we've kind of come through this journey together. And it's been such a great ride that, you know, what better way to top it off with $1 million and a world title, eh?
Thank you so much. Good luck on Friday, man.
Thank you.
All right, last question. Alex, Cage Side Press.
Hi, Brandon. It's Alex from Cage Side Press. You've had 2 dominant wins since the Contender series. Do you think another dominant win over a vet like Sheymon Moraes will finally shed the title of the guy that Dana White didn't sign?
Good question. I don't think I'll ever get rid of that, to be honest. That seems to be the first thing that comes up in every interview. So, yeah, I don't think I'll be losing that title. 10-second Brendan won't be going away anytime soon. But, I mean, my goal is to be a world champion anyway. No matter what organisation that is, it doesn't really matter to me. It's a world title, it's a world title. My goal is to be comfortable after fighting. That doesn't change regardless of who I'm fighting for. So whether or not you call me 10-second Brendan, it don't really matter to me now because, like I say, 5 fights, win streak now. And I've got some really tough tests this year and we'll see how good I really am. Let's see then. Let's see if you don't believe me then we'll see this year, won't we?
Thank you and good luck.
Thank you.
All right, thanks so much, Brendan.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Up next, we're going to be having Mr. Lance Palmer. All right. Let's see. Harry Mack, if you'd like to go ahead with the first question.
Hey, Lance. Harry Mack from the Bookies Basement. I hope all is well. So I just wanted to ask you, what would you say the biggest differences are between the old World Series of Fighting and the PFL as it's currently constructed?
You can't really compare those two, I don't think. There's a completely different format as far as the system for the fights and the season compared to World Series of Fighting was just trying to find guys to be able to fight the title holders at the time and trying to hold enough shows in a year to stay afloat. I mean, it was completely different from this. It was, I would say the organization was a lot different as far as being less organized than the format that we're in now. I mean, I went either 6 or 8 months between each fight, and it was awesome, but it was basically in its infancy of the organization that we are now with PFL. I mean, it's completely different from the people who are helping run it to, I mean, there's a lot of people that came from World Series on the backside and are in PFL now, but I feel like the format that we have, the organization that we have, there's just a lot more things, and I feel like we've all seen the way that World Series was run, and we brought all the positives from that and just took off with it for PFL.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Good luck.
Thank you.
Tom Ward.
Hi, Brandon. Tom Ward from Gimme Sport. Hope you're well. I just want to ask you, obviously you're the two-time champ, right? But do you feel like there's a certain element of added pressure? Do you feel like you've got a target on your back, or are you just so used to going through the motions that it's just, I don't know, an everyday for you?
I get this question a lot, but I feel like the target on my back has been there since I was like 10 years old in wrestling. So it's not really, I don't really consider it anything. I'm chasing my own goals, and everybody else just has to catch up to try and chase me. That's kind of the mentality that I have. And it's not a overconfident or cocky mentality. It's just the way that I was raised and the mindset that my dad told me to have. And there were some times where I would go into matches not as confident as I should have been for the work that I'd put in to get there. So I think having that confidence and that ability to kind of distance myself from the other competitors that I compete against that's mainly it. Just knowing that I put the amount of work in that I have, and it's started at a young age. It wasn't like I started fighting at 24, but I've been competing my entire life. So the competition is why I do it over anything else. So I think competing for so many years, you just get used to the same stress of every competition, and it's just, the stress is all the same. There's just different levels of it.
That leads me on nicely to my next question. Obviously, you and Bubba have a bit of a shared history, and he's been in the press recently saying he beat you for a Big Mac and an orange soda. Could you just touch on that a little bit? Like, obviously, the relationship between you two in terms of college wrestling and everything, does that kind of give you a bit more of an added edge?
I don't know. I mean, that was 13 years ago when we wrestled, and he beat me more times than I had beaten him that year. That's basically all it comes down to. I mean, that was 2008. So if he's dwelling on 2008, then I hope so, because I mean, this is a completely different sport, and I'm a completely different athlete than I was in 2008. And I mean, there's not really much to touch on there. I mean, we do have a history, so I guess that's what he's trying to hang his hat on.
My final question to you is, obviously you're all locked in a bubble at the moment. Have you bumped into any of your potential opponents? Like, what's the reaction been like?
I've seen a couple guys, like obviously Brennan just walked out, but I don't have any, like, I don't walk around just like trying to be a tough guy and like try and fight everybody. I'm super low key, kind of stay to myself, but I like to joke around. I like to have fun. And even if I am fighting somebody, I don't have to dislike that person to go in there and be able to try and beat them in a fight. So you fight for 15 or 25 minutes, and that's it. Like I don't really have like an added edge against anybody as far as like trying to act like a tough guy walking around the hotel, or I mean, that's people that do that, I feel like they just lack confidence.
Amazing. Thank you so much for your time and good luck on Friday.
Thank you.
Mark LaMonica.
Lance, hello. Mark LaMonica from Newsday. Obviously, a two-time defending champion. This year, format's a little bit different. Only 4 people go to the playoffs. What do you think that's going to do for people? I mean, obviously, the league has always incentivized finishes, but now it's a lot harder to sort of coast and get that decision and feel comfortable with what's going to happen. So, what are you expecting to see now that only top 4 go?
I don't think we're going to see anything different. The new format, all it does is take 4 people out of the playoffs, so it doesn't really make much sense because you could have 5 people with finishes and still have 4 people only making it. I don't know. It's interesting, but my goal is to win, and if I win my 2 fights and don't get in, still that puts me at a 13 fight win streak and still happy and still winning, and maybe other opportunities arise. So we'll see. I mean, I'm just focused on Friday right now, but the new formatting of it is definitely, I don't think it changes anything. Everybody already has that urgency that we have to try and get finishes and do our best out there. So I think in the regular season, you just focus on getting your wins, and nobody is really focused on finishing a fight when you go into it. You're just focused on going in there and doing your best. And if the finish comes, then that's great. I don't think I was the number 1 seed going into the playoffs in 2018. I don't even think I was a top 2 or 3 actually. So I don't really care about the seeding. I just care about winning. And if winning doesn't get me in the playoffs, then not much else you can do there. But if you look at every other sport that has a system in place, and say football, you win more than half of your games, or say you win 12 games out of 16, you're going to be in the playoffs 100% of the time. So if you win both fights and don't get in the playoffs, it doesn't really make sense for a playoff structure. But that's I guess that's its own different conversation.
And then just one more. You've been in this fight game a long time, seen it all. For you, what's the hardest thing about a fight?
At this point in my life, it's probably being away from my family, maybe. The training, all the training is the same. I mean, in my 30s now, I think being 34, I think the training has changed a little bit for doing the right things and the right recovery and making my body feel the best that it can feel, on top of training hard at the same time. So training harder, but smarter as well. But being away from family, being away from the wife and daughter, that's probably the biggest change over the last 8 weeks for me. Other than that, nothing really has changed over the last 10 years. Just my focus has changed, and the reason why I fight has changed a little bit. But other than that, nothing really crazy has happened.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Sergio, do you have a question?
Yes, this is Sergio from the Fight Podcast. Lance, you are a multiple-time champion. You've won this tournament multiple times as well. This season, with all this, they added star power this season. Would winning it this season have any more significance to you?
I think each season has had its own significance. This would definitely be a great season to win with the competition, but as well as the circumstances that we're in. I mean, we're in this bubble. This is our 14th day in the bubble right now, and it'll be 17 by fight day. So I think we're in a unique scenario of seeing who can handle these situations. And I think the next regular season fight's going to be exactly the same, as far as 17 days in here and dealing with that on top of everything else that goes on outside of the bubble with other businesses that people run and families and things like that. So I think that's the main significance, is we're dealing with a lot of things outside of the bubble. I mean, not everybody has other things going on outside of here, but I do. So there's a lot going on the back end as far as dealing with daily things that go on for my other two businesses outside of me just being stuck in here, and then having a family at home also, and making sure that everything's good on that end, and getting help for my wife and daughter if they need it. And that's basically it. I mean, I don't think there's added significance because of the people that are in here.
Danny.
Hey, Lance, Danny for MMA Junkie. Just a couple questions on Bubba. He was very respectful, but he did kind of mention that he feels like he has an edge over you just because of your history and wrestling. Obviously, it's a different sport that does involve wrestling, but and also it was a long time ago. But do you feel like there's something to that? Do you feel like he has an edge, or do you feel like you maybe have something to prove since I guess you didn't have too much success according to him in your wrestling days?
No, not at all.
Yeah. And you just mentioned it, like being away from your family. I know you recently had a baby girl. Congrats, by the way.
Thank you very much.
Is this the most amount of time that you've been away from her?
Pretty much her whole life so far, except for weekends. So yeah, it's I mean, she's only 9 weeks old, so we're looking at the first like 2 weeks or week and a half that she was alive. I was there the whole time, but basically Saturdays and Sundays were the only times that I was home during this entire camp, and then add this 17-day quarantine on top of it. I haven't seen her since before, 2 weeks ago, basically. So yeah, it's definitely weird, like watching her grow on FaceTime and pictures and videos instead of in person.
Thank you. Good luck in the tournament.
Thank you.
Up next, Curtis.
Hey, Lance, this is Curtis from the Big Curtis Show. Hey, man, I want to say congratulations, man, on the new baby girl.
Thank you.
I know you've been training, and I've been seeing you train with, people like TJ Dillashaw, Juan Archuleta, the guys in Jersey, Frankie Edgar. How are these guys going to help you improve your performance, man, this season?
I've been training with these guys since the 2019 season also, but I think it's, I've always been close with Juan and TJ, and Brian Ortega had a fight coming up with Volkanovski, so I was giving him looks for his fight, and we were getting good training in there. And Cub Swanson had a fight coming up also, I believe the week after my fight. So I've had a lot of good guys to train with, and we were all in camp at the same time, and it's just a similar mindset and similar attitude going into it. And Juan and I have been really close for a long time. Our families are pretty much family. So I think, honestly, over all the training and obviously the good work that we get together, I think it's the family environment and the friendship and everything else. I mean, we know how to train super hard together and not hurt each other. And I think that's being a good partner and being a good teammate is a lot of that. And Frankie and Eddie in New Jersey and all the other guys in Jersey, they're the same exact way. I mean, that's why we have such a small team out there, is because everybody is tight knit. It's like a family there. And Mark Henry, Ricardo Almeida, Nick Catone, all the coaches, they're all great people. And once I started training there in 2019, it was like instant. I became family and became close with those guys. And they were all people that I admired and looked up to before I even trained with them. So for them to bring me in and just be part of their team and have that like-mindedness and the same mentality and mindset going into training was just easy. It's easy to train with people who are like-minded.
Lance, I thank you, man. I wish you the best of luck this season, my friend.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, we'll take our last question for Tariq.
Hey, Lance, what's up, man? It's Tariq from the Havoc Hour. What's going on, brother? Hey, listen, so we've heard from you a lot about how the inactivity last season was real frustrating. And, now you're facing a guy in Bubba who, have somewhat of a history with. Was there anything different that you might have done in training camp this year to kind of get reacclimated?
Not really. I honestly felt really good getting into camp right away. I don't know if it was from having a lot of the rest and being able to train when I wanted to train last year and not having to train through injuries, or just having open mind and freedom to do whatever instead of getting ready for 5 fights in a row. So I would say the biggest difference was just being fresh, and my mind being fresh, my body being fresh, kind of like a clean slate coming in for this fight camp. That was the main thing. And obviously when it comes down to having inactivity, he's been inactive way longer than me. So I think I don't really look into that stuff too much. I know that a lot of people talk about ring rust and things like that, but it's been a lot longer since he's fought last compared to the last time that I fought. So I feel like if we have any advantages, that may be one of them too.
Also, I know you're not really a big talker, but I know Bubba had a prediction of finishing the second round. You got a response for that?
Yeah, he's talking about me finishing him probably.
All right, good luck, brother.
Thanks, man. Good talking to you.
All right, we're actually going to take 1 or 2 more questions. Let's go with Curtis.
I'm sorry, I just answered my question. I forgot to put my hand down.
I'm so sorry. Let's take Andrew Benjamin.
Hey Lance, Andrew with MMAsucker.com. When Bubba was on the press conference just previously, he predicted a second round knockout against you. I'm curious to know, do you have a prediction for how you will make the fight go in your favor?
I think you just missed my answer a second ago, but I feel that I'm going to finish him. I don't know what round, or I don't really care to make a prediction, honestly, but I do agree. I think if he catches me and knocks me out is the only way he can win this fight.
Great. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
Sean.
Hi, Lance. There's Sean Sheen here from Severe Med. There's been a lot of talk recently about the best featherweight in the world, whether it's Patricio Pitbull, Max Holloway, or Alexander Volkanovski. Where would you put yourself in that talk, and do you think your name belongs with those names?
I think so. I did do an interview about this, and they asked me some questions about it. It's hard because I don't get to compete against any of those guys. You look at that, you look at those guys, and they're kind of in a promotion that has been around for a long time. The competition is well known there. The marketing is great there. They have their ranking system, their own ranking system, and that's kind of what people go off of. But I feel that I'm in the conversation for best featherweight in the world. But until I get to face one of those people, that's the only way I get to prove it. I can't really prove it, no matter how tough this roster is. And I know a lot of these guys on this, pretty much everybody on this roster is really high level and everybody's really tough, but it's not going to prove that I'm the best featherweight in the world. The only way the main core group of people or media or anybody else is going to think I'm the best featherweight is if I fight one of those guys and get to beat them. And that's really it. I mean, we could talk all day, but until I get the opportunity to actually fight one of those guys who everyone else considers is the best, then it'll just be talking.
Do you think that this will be your last tournament at PFL and you're going to try to move on to the UFC or one of the other organizations to prove that?
I don't know. We'll see. I think for now, I'm just focused on this Friday, obviously, and I'm really happy with being able to fight again and this season of PFL, but like I talked about a little bit ago, you could win both your fights and still not get in the playoffs. So that may change things for the future also. So we'll see. I'm just focused on this Friday, and then we'll go from there.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks.
Matthew. Last Out Media.
Yeah. Hi, Lance. How you doing? We're sort of dancing around this, best in the world at featherweight thing. And I was wondering, is there any perhaps skill or something that you do that you think you are the best in the world at?
Yeah, I think I could take anyone down, and that changes the course of the fight. And with all these other organizations being able to throw elbows, we haven't obviously we can't throw elbows in PFL, and that's a huge part of my game and opening guys up on the ground and being able to get to my submission game. So I think that changes a lot of things if I were in a fight where I could get a takedown and throw elbows and set up my other stuff on the ground. So, I mean, a lot of people are high-level wrestlers in the sport, but not many people are able to use their MMA wrestling to get to those positions and take people down who usually don't get taken down. All of those guys that are being mentioned are all striking based. I mean, Holloway has a good ground game, jiu-jitsu based game, but not a wrestling based game. And I've trained and sparred and competed with the best featherweights in the world at one time or another, and I know that I'm at the top of that.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, our last question for real this time will go to Darnell.
Hi, Lance. This is Darnell Giovanni with MMA Island. If you win the competition again this year for the third time, you have any intention on maybe going to lightweight and seeing if you can win a championship there as well?
Not really. I feel that I'm a true featherweight. I don't think that'll help the conversation for me being the best featherweight. I think the only other option would be to go somewhere else and compete against the guys that the media talks about as being the best featherweights in the world. So I think that would be the only option from here, or bringing one of them to the PFL. So I don't know. It's hard to focus on things that far ahead with my focus being on this fight this weekend, but obviously it'd be great to get the wins again this year and end this season on a high note, and then start the negotiating from there. So we'll see. But I think just proving that I'm the best featherweight is my main goal, and whatever it takes to do that is obviously, not all of it's in my hands, just because the other top guys that are being considered are in other organizations right now. So that's kind of hard for me to prove anything this year, except continue to do what I'm doing, continue to win, continue to beat these guys that are here right now, and kind of solidify myself as the best featherweight here, and then move on from that.
Good luck on Friday, Lance.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, Lance, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
All right, guys, just a second. We got Natan here.
Ah, então pegar para mim e pro Caleb, então. Tá bom, eu tô aqui, depois eu falo contigo.
All right, please raise your hand if you
depois eu
have a
vejo.
question
Eu vou fazer
for
aqui a
Natan.
entrevista. Tchau. Beijo. Ciúme.
All right. Ed is going to be helping us translate today, just a FYI. Let's get started with Will Getling.
Hey Nathan, this is Will from the Fight Gods podcast. Thanks for being with us today. Earlier, Marcin said that he was going to attempt to submit you in the first round and that he felt like he had a better ground game than you. I know you've had a lot of great submissions. Do you feel like he's better on the ground, or is he underestimating you?
Mais cedo, o Martin falou que o treinamento dele para a luta é finalizar no primeiro round. Você é um cara que tem uma experiência muito grande aí no chão. Como é que você compara a experiência dele com a sua?
Ele é um atleta que tem muita experiência e um atleta muito bom no jiu-jitsu também, mas eu creio que com a mesma estratégia que ele pretende impor de finalização, eu pretendo impor de finalização ou nocaute no primeiro round contra ele.
He's a fighter of tremendous experience on the ground, and the same way that he is going to try to implement his game and submit me, I'm going to keep moving forward and attempt to submit him or knock him out in the first round.
All right, up next, Jay Anderson.
Thanks very much. And, Natan, it's Jay from Cage Side Press. After 2 straight championships, you had quite a head of steam built up, and then obviously the pandemic ground everything to a halt. I'm just wondering, what the past year off was like for you, and were there any benefits from that time off?
Obviamente teve tempo grande aí fora, né, sem competir. Saber como é que foi esse ano aí para você, em 2020, o que você fez, quais foram os benefícios desse ano fora.
Esse ano de pandemia para mim foi importante para mim estar melhorando todas as áreas que eu precisava melhorar, e com um tempo bom de esse 1 ano que eu fiquei sem lutar, onde eu consegui melhorar bastante.
It's a great year to work on my fundamentals and to fine-tune my game and not necessarily have to worry about the fights.
All right, let's go with Danny.
Hey Nathan, hope all is well. Danny from MMA Junkie here. Obviously, you have a big name in Anthony Pettis joining the promotion and being in your bracket in your tournament. What are your thoughts on him joining the promotion? Obviously, a big name, and he's considered by many as a favorite to win the tournament, even though you are the defending champ. So how do you also feel about him already being considered a favorite to win the whole thing?
Pettis aí, entrando no GP, um grande nome. Você como campeão, como é que você vê a integração dele, né, no campeonato? E para muitos ele é considerado aí o favorito a ganhar cinturão no final do ano. Como é que você vê isso aí como o bicampeão do PFL brasileiro?
Eu acho que ele é um grande nome, o Anthony Pettis, e é um cara que entra para reforçar mais a categoria, mas com certeza eu acredito que ele não é um dos principais nomes, apesar de ser o cara talvez mais famoso do evento, né, ou da categoria, mas eu acredito que uma vitória em cima dele vai ser muito, muito gratificante pro meu currículo como atleta.
Absolutely, he is a big name and comes to sum up and to weight our division to make it look even better. He might be the biggest name in the weight class, but I don't see him as the toughest of fights. And a fight and a win over him is definitely something I look forward to. It's gonna make my resume look even better.
Obrigado. Boa sorte.
Matthew, Last Out Media.
Hi, Nathan. Matthew Maratea from Last Out Media, and I was wondering, with this talk of going back and forth in a submission battle, is there maybe pressure to try to keep the fight on the feet as long as you can, and show something different in that sense, or just jump right in the ground and start rolling?
Já teve muita conversa aí sobre essa batalha de submission, né, de jiu-jitsu. Aí você tem alguma pressa de levar essa luta para o chão, a sua vontade de mantê-la em pé e, enfim, mostrar aí o seu jogo em pé?
Então, eu acho que é uma oportunidade de como teve uma mudança na questão do formato ali da PFL, então a gente tem que vir um pouco mais apurado, e eu acredito que tanto uma vitória como via nocaute ou via finalização, para mim, é o que importa. Então, tanto faz como eu vou vencer, mas o que importa é eu conseguir finalizar essa luta o mais rápido possível.
So the format change this season is something that makes us as fighters develop a little bit more of a sense of urgency. So my intent is to finish the fight, whether it's by submission or knockout. That's what I'm really focusing on, and that's what's really important in order to make it to the playoffs.
Dylan.
Hey there. I'm noticing that, with the backdrop of being the multiple-time tournament champion for PFL, there would be some great localized insight here. Is this the best lightweight tournament that Natan has seen overall?
Esse é o, na sua opinião, esse aí é o torneio, é o melhor torneio, o melhor plantel aí da PFL aí pro peso leve, dos últimos 2 anos?
Eu acho que todos os anos tivemos atletas duros na categoria, né? E esse ano eu acho que, talvez por grandes nomes, né? Eu acredito que chame um pouco mais atenção. Mas eu penso que sim, talvez esse ano seja o ano que tenha mais atletas mais renomados na categoria dos pesos leves.
Both 2018 and 19 were extremely challenging years as far as the competition PFL brought in. But yeah, I mean, it's 2021 season brings bigger names, and that's probably the reason why people from afar see it as a more competitive year.
All right, let's take our last question for Andrew Benjamin.
Hey Nathan, Andrew with MMAsucker.com. So I'm just curious to know, do you feel any extra, I guess, pressure going into this, being the previous winner of the tournament in 2021, and previously, Obrigado.
Você sente uma pressão maior aí por ser campeão aí, né? Na terceira?
Eu acho que depois que eu fui campeão na primeira temporada, eu acho que todas as lutas, apesar de eu não ser campeão nesse ano, eu estar lutando pelo título desse ano, eu entro com uma responsabilidade maior, porque eu fui campeão das 2 temporadas, então toda luta que eu faço é como se fosse como se eu estivesse defendendo o meu cinturão, entendeu? Então acho que eu entro com um pouco de pressão sim de tudo, né? Do fato de ser campeão do evento, ser 2 vezes campeão, de ter feito tudo que eu fiz, então acho que eu entro com um pouco de pressão.
Yes, I'd agree. I come in with a certain amount of pressure. Ever since I won back in 2018, every single fight I've been, despite the fact that I was a 2018 champion, every single fight after that, I feel like I'm defending my belt. I'm defending my legacy here with the PFL. So I do feel like I come in with some extra weight and responsibility on my shoulders.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Nathan, appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
All right, up next, we're bringing in Sheymon. Moraes. Please raise your hand if you have a question for Sheymon. All right, first up, let's go with we'll go ahead and go with Daniel.
Hey, Sheymon, this is Daniel from Cage My IQ. Coming from the UFC, how have you prepared for the PFL format, knowing that it's a tournament style?
Wow. Yeah, it's a different style, It's a tournament. We're gonna fight more the 3 times the year. I think 4 times. So between fights gonna be 6 weeks. The difference is just like being the bubble for like 3 weeks. This is the hard part, but yeah, man, I'm doing this for my whole life. I'm training a lot. I never stopped to train. I'm almost stopped fighting, but yeah, I'm back. I'm happy training, Nothing changed. I'm the same.
Next question for Conan. Conan, you with us? All right, we will.
Hello.
Oh, okay. Hi.
Hi.
You have really bad connection. All right, we're gonna skip and let's go with Catherine.
Good afternoon, Sheymon. Katie, Fight Chaser Media. Has there been any obstacles going into this fight mentally or physically? And if so, what have you done to overcome those?
I'm really staying really strong mentally, you know. I found my peaceful inside me, so I'm training hard and I'm ready. I'm you know, I'm just happy to be here, and yeah, gonna be a good show.
Good luck. Looking forward to it.
Thank you.
All right, let's go with Sav, Global Fight Talk.
Hi, Sham. This is Sav from Global Fight Talk. You have an extremely tough resume. You've been in there with some of the best fighters in the world. I just want to know if you can put into words how important that is to you and what type of advantage does it give you over the other featherweights?
Man, nobody have advantage here. It's a tournament. This is the best fighters for 135 stay here, you know. So who be more aware mentally and physically and physically gonna be the better guy in the end, you know. And I'm aware for everything, and in the end of the year, you guys gonna see me with my belt. This is my belt.
Thanks. Good luck.
Thank you.
Tom Ward.
Hi, Sheymon. Tom Moore from Give Me Sport here. I just want to talk a bit about your opponent, Brendan. Obviously, I'm from the UK, so you can imagine we've got a bit of an interest in Brendan. But I just want to know what are your thoughts on him? What do you think of his skill set?
Yeah, he's really good. He's have a good distance. He's fast. He's a little bit taller. Yeah, have a lot of experience too. Training with good guys, and yeah, he is. I'm think one of the best, the hardest opponent in this tournament. You know, gonna be a interest fight.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Good luck Friday.
Thank you.
All right, up next, Mike Owens.
Hello, Sheymon. This is Michael from Mike Owens Media. You certainly have the advantage in terms of quality of competition that you've faced. Do you feel like your experience in the fight game will serve you as an advantage in this fight?
Man, the homework is already done, you know. Now just cut to 8. And the Friday you're gonna see what you're gonna see. Gonna be good. God's gonna bless me.
Superb. Thank you.
Up next, Will Getling.
Hey, Sheymon. Earlier you said that you had thought about retiring, but now you signed with the PFL and you're ready to go. Are we going to see a career resurgence? Is this like a rebirth for you in fighting?
Yeah, I think so. I think I'm reconnect with myself, you know, get my peace back. So yeah, you guys can see the Sheymon 2.0. Shame on you.
Sounds great. Thank you. Good luck.
Let's go with Andrew Benjamin.
Hey, Sheymon. I'm actually just curious to know if you could expand upon, as you said, that you were thinking about stopping from fighting. Can you just tell us why that crossed your mind at one point, and what was the motivation to come back? Obrigado.
Well, when I got released, I don't make enough money, you know, and my head stay kind of confused, a lot of going on, and start the pandemic, you know, and I just no feel more to fight, to train, and my son starts to grow up. I have to start try to make money, you know, and after take a long break, I just stopped by the gym just for see if this is still inside me, you know, and just go in the sparring day and then see, okay, I'm gonna do 3 rounds. I'm gonna do my best, If somebody knock me out, it's over for me. If I did well without 8 months train, I'm back, train, and keep going. And yeah, I'm here.
All right, up next, let's go with Tanai.
Hey Sheymon, how's it going, man? It's Tanai from MMA Island. I wanted to ask you how you feel training with Chance and Hafile, because the PFL has allowed a limited number of cornermen in the bubble. How's it been training with those boys?
Man, was amazing. The guys is like another level. The guys push me out through, you know. Chance and Raphael is a great prospect. You guys have to check out the guys. 135, 125, stay in trouble with them. Them is another level. Is the new generation come is like hard, and the guys help me a lot. And I'm very grateful to bring him to help me, you know. And the connection is really good, you know. I'm now in the new gym, so yeah, I'm happy and ready. And the guys is a beast.
Thank you so much. Good luck on Friday, man.
Thank you, bro.
Alex, Cage Side Press.
Hi, Sheymon. It's Alex from Cage Side Press. And just wanted to know, you're on the first 2-fight losing streak of your career. What can we expect from you this Friday? And are you looking to prove yourself?
Man, I'm training hard, you know. And I will show you guys my best. So don't miss the fight.
Awesome. Thank you and good luck.
Thank you.
Dylan. Dylan, you out there, buddy?
Hey there, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, I was just curious because there was the backdrop of challenging Marlon Moraes for the WSOF Bantamweight Championship and PFL being in the same lineage here. Would there be a level of redemption to getting to the playoff finals and contending for gold in a second division with the promotion?
Yeah, man. My dream is to become a world champion. When they start, even in Muay Thai, the dream is hold the belt and become a world champion. And this is my plan to make this year.
All right, next up, Harry Mack.
Hey, Sheymon, Harry Mack from the Bookie's Basement. So you're a slight betting underdog right now, plus 145. So is that something that affects your perspective on a fight or how you look at a fight going into it at all?
No, I'm no look, I'm no bet, I'm no kind of the guy bet. I'm trust myself and my train, so this no matter.
Fair enough, thank you.
Thomas.
Good afternoon, I'm Thomas Friedman, representing 3300 in Climbing's multimedia team. And my question takes a different angle on your fight preparation. What kind of music do you really listen to get pumped up for a fight that gets you just really motivated to go?
Yeah, I mean, listen a lot of Brazilian music, Brazilian funk and rap, you know. And this year gonna be a different, not gonna be, I think the walk-off music not gonna have it. So, but this no matter.
Thank you.
All right, Conan, want to try again?
Hi, Sheymon. This is Conan of Conan Daily. Please tell us what were the challenges that you faced while preparing for this fight, considering that we are in a pandemic.
Man, in the life, the challenge is always yourself, you know, you have to battle against you. This is my hardest battle, so yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Next up, Shantae.
Hello, I am Shantae Sharp with 3300 in Climbing, social media. My question was, so for me, music keeps me focused for studying and cleaning, you know, those type of things. So my question is, what are some artists that you like to listen to get you ready for your fights? the names of the artists.
Marcelo Falcão or Rapa. He's from Brazil. I love his music. Since I'm starts fight MMA, I'm always walking with his music.
Thank you so much.
All right. Anyone else have a question for Sheymon? Sean?
Hey, Sheymon, I just want to ask you again about your opponent, Brendan Loughnane. Obviously, in this side of the world, in the UK and Ireland, he's a really big name and people have known him for a long time. Do you kind of get that? Has that kind of come true to you? And what do you think of him as a fighter as well?
Yeah, I see him. He's a good fighter. I don't know nothing about the UK because I never been there, and I don't have many friends over there. But inside the cage, everybody's the same. Everybody have two arms, two legs. So I'm wearing, gonna be a good show for you guys.
All right. Conan.
Hi, Sheymon. It's Conan again. You've been competing professionally since 2012. What do you consider as your proudest moment as a fighter?
Man, every year, every time, every second, the life we change a lot, And I just do my best for always evolve and learn new things. And this is the martial arts, and I don't like to look back. I just move forward, And the best of Sheymon, you guys gonna see yet.
One more question, please.
Go for it. Conan, did you have another question?
Okay. You were on a break in 2020. Could you please tell us briefly what kept you busy in 2020?
Yeah, I mean, with the pandemic, I just work, do some Amazon Flex and Uber Eats delivery. That's it. When I can, I training in the house by myself. And keep clean, keep away from the coronavirus, and safety. I just do this.
Okay. Thanks, Sheymon. Good luck.
Tanai?
Hey, Sheymon, Tanai again from MMA Island. I wanted to ask you how you feel after 2 years coming back. And we're so happy you're back, but how do you really feel? And the change of camps you said helped you a lot. So how do you feel?
Yeah, I feel really happy again, Before I was just automatically go fight, and the adrenaline, the happenings back to me, and I'm so excited. I'm back to get excited again to fight, so yeah.
Awesome. I got one more question if you don't mind.
Yeah.
How's it been in the bubble so far? Do you enjoy, I mean, obviously it's probably not the most fun thing, but have you had enough facilities and everything to train, to get in shape, the good food and everything?
Man, I can't complain about anything. The guys here from PFL do an amazing job. The guys, man, give everything for us, I feel like I'm home. I'm not feel anything less the blessed to be here, glad, and yeah, man, I keep to train, I keep the diet clean. Man, I'm do everything I can for get my best version on Friday, and the guys from PFL is amazing. They work pretty well for us, treat us like a king.
Awesome. Thank you so much, man. Good luck on Friday again.
Guys.
All right, let's take another question from Thomas.
How you doing again? Thomas back. Just wanted to know, what do you do to personally to represent Brazil wherever you go?
Stay my blood, bro. Look my face, look my style. I'm Brazilian. Stay my blood. I live in America already 7 years, but this never go away from me.
Follow up with that is, have you been able to keep your Brazilian diet since you got into the bubble?
No, I never done that. But after the fight, for sure, when they back to Arizona, where I'm living right now, I'm gonna make a good barbecue and eat good Brazilian pizza and some stuff before we come back here.
I bet you're excited for that, man. Thank you.
Tanai, do you have another question?
Yep. I was gonna ask you, Sheymon, if you don't mind, what would you do when you win that $1 million? When you obviously hoist the belt, but that $1 million, what does it mean to you, and how do you plan on using it?
I'm no make plan with the money because I'm not in this tournament for the money. Of course, this is gonna be the gift after. But my focus is get the belt, become a world champion, and after have it in my wrist, get my belt to hold my son. After like a week, when the money hit my account, I'm gonna see what I'm gonna do. But I'm not make plan with this. I just make plan to become a world champion. This is my dream.
Great. That'll be an awesome picture with the belt in one hand and your kid in the other. Good luck, man.
Thank you.
All right, let's go Global Fight Talk.
Hi, Sam from Global Fight Talk again. I just wanted to ask you about weight cutting culture. We had a fighter that fainted on the scale a couple of months ago. Do you feel like weight cutting is a problem in MMA, or is it just, it is what it is?
Man, the weight cut is hard. We can't judge the people because we know how hard this is. And because some people go up division. Before I'm used to fight 135, now 45. In the future, maybe you guys see me 155. Because it sucks to cut weight. It's really hard. But yeah, man, have to be professional. If you sign the contract, you have to do with this deal. I can't say much, but yeah. If you sign something, if you wanna do something, you have to do it.
Thanks. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, Harry Mack.
Hey, Sheymon. Harry Mack from the Bookie's Basement. What is the biggest animal you think you could fight?
Wow, big animal. Man, I have no idea. Maybe a white King Kong. I have no idea. But whatever put in front of me, I'm gonna fight.
Maybe we'll find out one day. Thank you.
Good.
All right, anyone have any more questions for Sheymon? Thomas?
One last question. As a fellow father, I'd like to know, what do you do to keep a balance between your training, your fighting, and keeping a happy household?
Man, now I'm just focusing this fight. And my son now is in Brazil with my mom. My mom take care of him pretty well, my mom and my dad. So sometimes when I have time, I call them, FaceTime every day. But my focus is training to get to where 100%. And yeah, before was hard because between trains, I'm was sad because I'm so far away from my son. My son was so little and he don't understand well, and I'm always skip train and back home. And now I'm focused 100% and no skip any session train and always stay longer in the gym. So this is a good point. Now I'm focused 100% on my training and my fight game.
That's really great. I wish you blessings for you and your family, man.
Anyone else? Oh, go ahead, Conan.
Hey, Sheymon, who do you consider as the best featherweight MMA fighter of all time?
All time, Patricio Pitbull, my best friend. We used to train together. He's the best in the world for sure.
And you've been training with Black House since 2011, is that right?
No, I'm not training more in Black House anymore. Now I'm part of Featherweight on Arizona Phoenix.
Okay, all right. Maybe just last question. Who is or who are your MMA idols?
Jesus, God, my dad, you know.
All right. Good luck again. Thank you.
Any more? All right. Thank you so much, Sheymon.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much, guys. Sorry about my bad English. I'm trying to learn, and God bless all of you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys, we are, Mr. Pettis is about to be done with another interview, so we're just gonna give him a couple minutes to finish that up, and he should be right here. So we can all just hang out for a minute.
Guys, again, thank you.
Hey guys, just giving you a quick update. Pettis is on the way. He should be here shortly. Thanks again for all your patience. All right, Mr. Pettis is in the building.
I'll keep myself with me.
All right, let's have our first question go to Dylan.
Hey there, Anthony. How's it going?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. Appreciate the time today and everything. I was kind of curious because in fight booking is generally a little more nebulous. It's kind of like you have to wait on hearing whatever the matchups are, whereas in PFC, much more defined structure with the season, when the playoffs take place, etc. Do you prefer that more, I guess, defined kind of structure in the PFL here?
Oh man, I feel so good. Like it's been a long career of just wondering what's next, and quick weight cuts. And I think my last two fights were on like 17 days and 21-day notice. Whereas this is laid out for me, man. Like I literally just have to be a race car, and this my team pours into me, and I gotta go perform.
Thanks for the time, man.
Of course.
Up next, Tom Ward.
Hi, Anthony. Tom Ward from Gimme Sport here. Hope you're well. My question to you is, obviously, you've had a long and decorated career. Some would argue that you are one of the greatest lightweights to ever grace the earth. My question to you is, how do you wish to be remembered?
I think my legacy is kind of already written, and it's still going, which is crazy. I'm 34 years old. This camp was amazing. I feel so good. The structure and the motivation and just everything that came along with this. Before, when I was up and coming, I wanted to be remembered as the guy who would fight anybody, anywhere, anytime. While I was going to 145, 155, 170. And now I have an opportunity to become a 3-division champion, 3 organizational champion, and it could be done in a year. So I'm very excited about the opportunity that's in front of me.
My second question to you is, obviously, you have a very good relationship with Dana on your Instagram. I was just wondering if he said anything to you at all, any words of encouragement?
Yeah, me and Dana just talked this weekend. I mean, it wasn't about my fight, obviously what happened this weekend with Ben Askren fighting my teammate. But yeah, me and Dana are cool, man. Like that dude's I grew up, under that organization, and I was on the Wheaties box with this company. I've been all over the place, So it's I think it's a mutual respect, And Sean Shelby, he's the one that gave me my chance in the WEC. So yeah, I mean everything's very respectful there, and no hard feelings on either side.
Amazing. Good luck Friday.
Thank you.
All right, Danny.
Hey, Anthony, Danny from MMA Junkie. Obviously, on this bracket, you're probably the biggest name in the entire tournament, given your history with the UFC, and obviously you were a former world champion. I'm wondering, how does it feel to have a target on your back? Because in the UFC, I mean, there's so many big names, right? But in this one, it kind of feels like you're the guy in the tournament. So how does it feel to have that big target on your back?
I was the champion in every organization I fought in, so I always had a target on my back, man. So I kind of embraced that role. I know what these guys are, looking forward to. Like, the scariest thing about this is he has nothing to lose. Like, he can go out there, bite on his mouthpiece, and just go. And that's where I'm trying not to get caught up in. It's another fight. These guys, there's some good talent in this division, and I feel like I got to be sharp. I got to be smart. I got to be on my game, and I don't plan on veering off from that at all.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Our next question comes from Justin Kish. I will read it to you. Tell us about your training camp for your fight against Clay Collard. Was there anything new you worked on during your camp?
Training camp was amazing. My little brother is in camp right now for a world title shot over at Bellator in 2 weeks. So the vibe in the gym was just off the charts. We had some great guys in camp. Yeah, I have worked on some new things. Getting out of my own head, and I think the last year and a half I've been very very vocal on just pursuing that mindset. That growth. And I hired a sports psychologist. I think that right there just adds to my game, adds to my already skill set that I have, and also we didn't go so hard in this camp, and I feel like we went hard when we needed to, but it wasn't like all out, all we can do, because I got to fight again in 7 weeks and then again in 8 weeks. So it was very more strategic, great game planning, and I had a lot of growth this camp.
Next up, Carlos. Carlos, you there?
Hi, Anthony. Can you hear me there?
I can hear you. What's up, man?
Top. Other than the $1 million in the new format, what was interesting for you to sign for the PFL, since you were one of the biggest names in the lightweight division, and obviously you had a lot of options when you left the UFC?
Yeah, I think there was a couple factors that went into that. Obviously, the way they approached it, it was more of a partnership deal where it's not like other organizations where I just be thrown in and trying to work my way to a title shot, and also that I can earn a belt by the end of the year, and that's huge for me. I'm in this sport to be a champion, and I have the opportunity to be a champion by the end of the year, and also that $1 million bag is obviously nice.
And also, I want to ask you, we see what Ben did on the weekend, but you're fighting a guy that pursue an actual boxing career like Clay. What do you think about his move, like going to boxing and try to climb, not just to go there for the money or the attention, but to be competitive in another sport like what he did?
I respect it. Honestly, I respect it because I train with some high level boxers. I sparred with some of the best boxers in the world, real boxers. Like, to get better, I wasn't trying to hype up a fight, and I know how good these guys are. So anybody that can go over there and hold their own, it takes some skills.
Thanks a lot, Anthony.
Thank you.
Sergio?
Anthony, how you doing, man? Sergio from the Fight Podcast.
What's up, bro?
Maintaining, fam. So let me ask you this. In the spirit of 420 and the high holiday, what are your go-to munchies? Allegedly, that is. I'm not putting you out there, man. Allegedly.
No, man. I mean, I was pretty vocal about it, and I live in Las Vegas. But go-to munchies. Damn, you put me on the spot with that one, though. Because I'm so hungry right now. Man, we're cutting weight. You got me talking about.
My bad, man. My bad. I really did.
Go-to munchies, man. Tacos, burgers, carbs. Honestly, just carbs.
That's what's up, man. Well, hey, love to burn one with you on the Fight Podcast one day, man. Appreciate you.
Appreciate the invite, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go with Jay Anderson.
Hey, Anthony. Thanks very much for the time today. Jay from Cage Side Press. I wondered if you could talk a little about the PFL format and specifically, finishes being awarded more points for getting it done early. Are you a fan of that, putting emphasis on the finish that way? And, as a guy known as Showtime, does that kind of play into your hand a little?
Oh man, I always look for the finish. As fighters, we don't get paid for overtime. Our objective is to get in and get out. So yeah, I think it does play into my game great. I think with the flashy moves I have, the skill sets I have a lot of ways to finish the fight. Whereas like other organizations, other promotions, they give guys extra money or bonuses for this. This is going to be taking care of me for the playoffs. So there's a lot of incentives into finishing this fight in the first round.
All right, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Catherine?
Good afternoon, Anthony. Katie from Fight Chaser Media. What do you do as watching your career? What do you do to prepare mentally for fights?
Oh man, that's changed so much. I think early in my days when I was a champ and like right after that, I wasn't even aware of the mental side of this game until I actually met my sports psychologist and he made me aware of how it actually works. The biggest thing is staying present. Like the hardest part is staying present. Like when I'm training and I've done a jab across 1,000,000 times, I've done a high kick 1,000,000 times. So it's easy for my mind. You get 70,000 thoughts a day. It's easy for your mind just to pick one of those and wander off. And then all of a sudden, 15, 20 minutes later, you're like, damn, where was I at this last 15, 20 minutes? And as athletes, we only have a certain amount of time that we can train. So I was losing a lot of my practices by just my mind just going. And now I have the skill set of recognizing it, pulling it back, and then also not judging myself on it. Because I used to judge myself on a lot, like, oh, you dumbass, like, why are you doing this? Or all my failures. But now that I understand, the game of life and the game of the mindset is being polite to yourself, recognizing and adapting.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Curtis?
Hey, show. This is Curtis from the Big Curtis Show. Brother, you're the former UFC lightweight champion, a former WEC lightweight champion. And I just want to hear from a motivational standpoint, man, that not only you fighting, but your little brother Sergio about to fight for his big world title. The fact that in 2021, we could have you as champion, again, you've been at the head of the table, and we could also have Sergio as champion too. How does that make you feel, man?
Oh my God, so proud. Honestly, like I'm my little brother's biggest fan. When my dad died, I made it a point to take him under my wing. And the fact that he chose to follow me in this career path and that he's good and he's killing it, man. It's amazing for me. We're definitely blessed. The Pettis family is just in a great spot this year. My mom actually had a dream, and she told us this a while back when I was the champ, that she saw both of her boys as champions. And then Sergio just texted me today. He's like, Mom's dream's finally coming true. And I forgot all about it until just today. And man, like that's makes me more proud than anything I've done, is for him to be where he's at. He just bought a house. He's doing very well. So I'm blessed.
That's amazing, brother. One more question here. Besides you being one of the greatest lightweights, man, that we've ever seen, a big thing in your career is when you did that big Showtime kick. Now, can we see something crazy like that this season?
Hey, I'm making sure I make that top 10 ESPN or World Star. I'm getting on something this weekend.
Let's go, brother. God bless. Best of luck this season.
Sean?
Hi, Sean Sheehan here from Severe May. A question I want to ask you, Anthony, you spoke about your progression outside of the cage, mentally and things like that, but I want to ask you about inside of the cage, tactically. One of the stats that I think shocks a lot of people is that you've won more fights by submission than knockout. Is that a thing that you've really kind of moved towards throughout your career? And where do you see yourself now tactically as an all-around MMA fighter?
Yeah, I think I was one of the the first guys to have a dynamic game off my back, matched with a good strong striking foundation and that flashy movement. But a lot of my submissions came because I hurt guys standing and then they shot and then I take the submission. There's only a couple fights that I remember where I actually had to set up and go through the process of trying to submit somebody. Man, I'm ready for wherever it goes. I got out of that mindset of like what they're good at and let me like stop their game. I know how good I am. I'm a complete martial artist. I'm good everywhere, and my confidence is at all-time high.
Is taking the fight to somewhere where you can get submissions something you've looked at in the past because you had such a knack of getting them at one stage of your career?
I did it, man. Honestly, I like now that understanding the game and knowing, especially with this format, like I need to get in there and get out and not be injured. We definitely, me and Duke just looked at that whole concept of like, instead of pulling back and letting guys, come in with the pressure, we added a clinch game to my game, clinch work, double legs, single legs. I mean, getting that fight to the ground is just an aspect of mixed martial arts. So I'm not going to go out there and try to like go for the submission. I'm going to just get into the flow, and whatever happens, happens.
I appreciate it, Anthony. Thank you for the time.
Thanks.
Darnell?
Darnell Giovanni with MMA Island here. How you doing today, Anthony?
I'm good, man. Can't complain.
Good to talk to you. Thank you for the time. So how do you balance having the management company as well and fighting at the same time?
Man, I got so much stuff. The first thing I opened was a taekwondo gym. So I got 2 taekwondo gyms. I own Rooster Sport with Duke. I have a barber shop. I started the management company. We got the fight promos going, but it's all stuff that I'm passionate about. Mostly things that I can actually take an active role in. The fight management, it kind of just comes natural because like the fighters already kind of look up to me, and they should as well. Like what I did in my career, where I'm at, and where I'm going. So that brings them in, and then once they see the skill set that comes behind the training, so we're a one-stop shop. We do the training, we do the management, we do the fights. Once my fight promotion starts, I'll have ability to get my guys fights. So it just kind of makes sense, and I enjoy that, honestly. Like business to me is like fighting. It makes you get into a different mindset, and you see some high highs, some low lows, and you just got to keep rolling with the punches.
That's awesome, and congratulations on that. And do you see yourself maybe competing in welterweight as well in the PFL if you win this tournament?
Most definitely.
Thank you.
When I win the tournament.
Yeah.
Tyreek?
Hey, Anthony, what's going on, man? It's Tariq from the Havoc Hour. We've seen you fight everywhere from featherweight to welterweight. Obviously, the most time was spent at lightweight. Did you have any thought about going to featherweight or lightweight, welterweight first, or was it just lightweight?
No, lightweight's my home. I think the reason why I was going up and down weight classes was searching for that next big thing. I was the world champ on a Wheaties box. There's not much higher at that point in my career that you could get to. And then you lose the belt, and you kind of just got to go through like a restructure. And at that point, I was, like I said, my legacy was I'll fight anybody, anywhere, anytime. And some big fights popped out, man. I fought Charles Oliveira at 145 pounds. He's fighting for a world title. Max Holloway at 145 pounds. I knocked out Wonderboy Thompson at 170 pounds. Man, I've done it all.
Also, we saw in the 2019 season back in the playoffs in Vegas, we saw you showed up there. Looking back, was that kind of, scouting the competition as you were planning on making a move?
No, at that point, I didn't know I was making a move. I was still under contract, and I had no idea. But I was not anywhere. On every show I watch, I judge myself, based on what I see, any organization. But yeah, at that point, I wasn't even thinking about moving yet.
All right. Thanks a lot, man. Good luck on Friday.
Thank you.
Alder?
Hi, Anthony. This is Alder from Empire Sports Media in New York. Coming from UFC, do you feel any pressure or target on your back?
Oh yeah, I mean, just the resume I have, there's a target on my back. Everybody, these guys know who I am. These guys watch my growth in this sport, so definitely have a target on my back.
And second is, Clay was talking earlier, and he told us that he saw you walking like you owned the building, and he said that he's gonna knock you out and see this fight as a coming out party for him. What's your prediction on the fight?
That's called confidence. That's what that's called. But my prediction for the fight is him laying on the floor looking at the ceiling.
Thank you.
Mike Middleton?
Hello, Anthony. This is Michael from Mike Owens Media. This is your first fight outside the UFC or the WEC since 2008. Did you expect to finish your career in the UFC, or was fighting another promotion always an intention of yours?
No, man, I'm a fighter. I mean, it doesn't matter what color gloves are, what canvas, or what shape. I'm a fighter. So, I still love the process. I still love the training. I have the passion still for it. So, I just feel like it doesn't really matter what organization I'm in or where the next fight is. Like when you're getting ready for a fight, that's all you're focused on. It doesn't matter. All the other stuff is just extra.
And as you mentioned earlier, you were the UFC champ, you were the WEC champ. With that being said, how much would a PFL title add to your resume?
That's why I'm here. That's the only reason why I'm here. You know, I'm cutting down 155 pounds. Feeling so strong, man. Honestly, just so mentally sharp. I'm excited to go out. I'm scaring myself. You know, I don't say that a lot, but in my training sessions, I'm doing things that I didn't even know I could do.
Superb. Thanks for the time today, Anthony.
Thank you.
Harry?
Hey, Anthony. Harry Mack from the Bookies Basement. So I saw that you brought Christian Rodriguez into the bubble with you. So I just kind of wanted to know what goes into that decision and who you're going to bring from the gym and who the training team inside the bubble is going to be.
This year was kind of different because obviously because COVID, we had a longer quarantine, right? So usually Sergio's in my corner, but he's fighting for a world title, so I don't want to break his camp up like that. So C-Rod, Christian Rodriguez, another great up-and-coming fighter from Rufus Sport, great striking, good ground game, kind of another guy I took under my wing, and it's just like what we have back at home. It's just like when your time is called, you gotta get up and make things happen, man. And it's his time now. So he actually just got a opportunity to fight on the Contender series. So big up for him, and you know it's gonna be a great year for him as well. So just sharing that love, man. Like Christian Rodriguez did the work. He's been around the gym for a long time, and you know I brought him out to see what this is all about. And great decision. I think I'll bring him out for the rest of this whole season.
Awesome. I was at Christian's last fight at CFFC, so I'm excited to see that Contender series shot. He looked great. Thank you very much for the time, Anthony. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Bobby Whitney?
Hey, how's it going, Anthony? It's Bobby Whitney from Last Out Media. I wanted to know, like, being one of the more decorated fighters in this tournament, what do you do in particular to, you know, stay humble, keep yourself in that even kill where you don't get too high, too low, too big-headed? What do you do to keep yourself right in the middle?
Man, once I learned the skill set of being present, that's it. You know, like when you're present in the moment, none of that, you can't think about what people are thinking about you. You can't think about stuff that happened in the past, stuff that's going to happen in the future. You're literally in this one moment. So being able to take myself present is where, and people see the confidence, but that's because I train so hard, you know, like the confidence comes from training hard. But being present is what keeps my mind focused and in the spot. You know, I had I think about like 13 days, around 14 days maybe. Yeah, we're 14 days in, all by myself in my room, just getting present, man. And it's really a skill set. Once you can do it, you just got to keep flexing that mind muscle. And that's what I've been doing all week.
Thanks. Good luck on the fight.
Thank you.
Alex?
Hey, Anthony, it's Alex from Cateside Press. It was already said, but this is your first fight outside of the UFC in 10 years. I just kind of wanted you to reflect on your UFC career.
Man, it's been amazing. You know, for where I grew up at and the neighborhood I came from and the circumstances I came from, man. Like when my dad was killed, I was 16, you know, house robbery across the street from my house. So we grew up in a pretty bad neighborhood. And to see the things I've seen and the dinner tables I've sat at and the hands I shook, man, martial arts saved my life.
That's awesome. And finally for me, how is your new management Showtime group going?
It's going, man. The Showtime group is going to be a process. You know, I wasn't looking for like an overnight, you know, sensation thing. Like we already have the factory, if you will, at Rufus Sport with the training. We didn't have the management company, so I was tired of seeing my guys get taken up by other managers and thrown to the wolves. You know, they're not looking out for these guys. So that was a big reason why I started my own thing. So now in-house, we have the ability to get the right fights, and I'm doing my own fight show. So now I have the opportunity to give my guys fights, get their records good, and then take them to the big shows and figure out what's next. So yeah, it's going. You know, COVID, you know, slowed everybody down, but our first show is in September. I have some great talent already signed on my roster, and I'm looking forward to growing that as well.
Awesome, and good luck.
Thank you.
Dylan?
Hey there, Anthony. I just wanted to kind of address a bit of a follow-up question here in regards to just, you know, what you're thinking with some of the, I guess, methodology for this one here. Like you were talking before about how you were talking with Duke about just training a little bit differently in a way that's mindful of being injured less frequently. It seems like less sparring is kind of part and parcel with that there. Are there other alterations to your training methodology that are mindful of that as well?
Now, crazy thing is not less sparring. It's just it's more selectful with my sparring. Like I said earlier in my career, I was like anybody, anywhere. This camp, I was very selectful of who was sparring, who was on the mat with. And my body is, I haven't felt this good in a fight for a long time. Injury free, feeling amazing, weights on point. Yeah, so I think this approach made me reevaluate everything. And honestly, COVID did too. Like when COVID hit, I had to like decide who my training partners really were. I had to say like, all right, who do I need on this mat? Who needs to be on the floor? And then we just continued that. And now that I'm in this tournament format, it's just like, just makes sense, man. I think it's weird to say that, but COVID was a blessing on my training.
Yeah, that makes sense. I was just wondering, I guess, if like maybe recuperative measures kind of took preference here, or if any other aspects.
A lot of money on recuperative, man. I do the massages. I got a personal massage guy that comes, every night to my house. PT. I mean, I know that my body is my business, and if I'm not at 100%, I can't give you guys 100%.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for the time, man.
Thanks.
Daniel Milet.
Hey, Anthony. This is Breeze with the MMA Breeze Show. I wanted to ask you. You had a relationship with Ben Askren. You're the type of guy who's never shied away from a challenge. You're here in PFL chasing the gold in the tournament, the $1 million bag. But you saw what happened with him and Jake Paul after training with Ben Askren. Are you surprised about what happened? And personally, would you ever take up a challenge like that for the right purse?
Was I surprised? Definitely, man. Like I've spin kicked Ben in the head before, and he'd just walk through it, like double leg me. But it was boxing, and Ben. Jake has more hours in boxing than Ben does, and that's just probably facts, And I thought Ben would be able to like withstand them a little bit longer than he did, but man, he got caught. He got caught clean. Shit happens. MMA, the fight game is crazy. Would I ever take a boxing fight? Most definitely, yes. I think. My hands are so underrated, guys. Guys don't see my hands because my kicks are so good, and I go to my kicks because it's easier to finish guys with kicks. Yeah, I definitely do want to try something with boxing eventually.
Cool, thank you, man.
All right, let's take a few more. Andrew Benjamin.
Hey, Anthony, this is Andrew of MMA Sucka. I'm curious to know, out of all the fighters in your division in PFL, who do you think is the toughest matchup for you?
Toughest matchup, obviously the former champ. He's 2 years, or not in a row, but he is. Well, yeah, 2 years in a row he won, but then a year off because of last year. But yeah, I would say the champ is probably going to be the most well-rounded guy. To face. But he's never fought no one like me, man. I just feel so confident going out here and just being myself. Once I get in that flow, honestly, it doesn't matter who's across the cage for me.
Great, thank you very much.
Thanks.
Mike Pendleton.
Hey, Anthony, kind of just follow up on what you've been talking about with your management company and all that. Why is it so important to you? You kind of mentioned earlier, the neighborhood you grew up in and how much Sergio's success has meant to you. I think you know more than most how much martial arts can change the lives of so many younger people, male and female. So why was it important to you to still compete and take a focus on those coming, not just through your gym, but those that will follow in your footsteps afterwards?
I think I've been on the front line since the start of this thing, man. I've been on these front lines. I've been making the waves and making a path, if you will, for most of the guys that followed my footsteps. And I create these bonds with them. Train hard with these guys. And, create bonds, and then to see them get passed off to other managers or other positions and not getting treated the way I feel they should be treated, and that's kind of where that happened. I saw a hole, and we have a lot of talent in our gym that comes from our gym, and I wanted to make sure they're taken care of well.
Well, the Midwest needs it, so appreciate that.
Of course, man. Thank you.
Will Getling.
Hey, Anthony. Thanks for being here today.
Of course.
This is Will from the Fight Gods podcast. Sorry about that. I got muted for some reason. Oh, okay. So one thing I've always admired about you is that you've always been a trendsetter. When you came to PFL, it was pretty surprising, similar to Phil Davis going to Bellator. And a lot of people that are big name fighters that are still in their prime followed him to Bellator. Do you think some other fighters are going to follow in your footsteps and come from the UFC with big names to the PFL? And could we see Tyron over here?
Man, honestly, I'm not sure. I think most fighters. The crazy thing is we're in charge of our own career, our own business. We have other people that can tell us, give us advice, but it's up to us at the end of the day where we want to fight at and what we want to do with our careers. Hopefully none of them come until I win this $1 million.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, let's take our last question for Global Fight Talk.
Hi, Anthony. This is Zach from Global Fight Talk. First of all, congratulations on everything you just touched on that you have for you. Awesome to hear. You definitely deserve it. My question is about your opponent. We can go probably about 45 minutes talking about your resume and the type of guys that you faced. Where roughly do you rank Clay Collard in that list?
As far as like skill set is the question?
Yes, sir. As far as ability, skill set, and toughness.
I wouldn't fight anybody outside the top 10. So, I mean, until my last fight, I haven't fought somebody outside the top 10 in the UFC. So I think I have always picked the toughest fights. You know, when I went up to 170, my first fight was Wonder Boy. I mean, I don't think he's lost since me. So I think, you know, it's hard to answer that question because I've been fighting the best in the world for so long, man.
All right, and one more question real quick. How's it been being in the bubble and adjusting your preparation?
Oh my God, it's been amazing, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like the first 2 days, I was like, I got in here, right? My mindset was like, all right, here we go, 17 days, locked in my room. Once I got out of my room quarantine, oh, it was dope, bro. They did an amazing job here, man. Everything's done very professional. We have a lot of space. The training rooms are probably the best training rooms I've been part of in all these organizations. Food's amazing for my team. My hotel room's dope. I mean, I can't complain, man. I'm just in a good spot. And then the fact that I'm alone for so long, I got to work through all my thoughts, all the insecurities, the confidence. You know, I got to work through all that, and it's been a while since I've been this clear-headed.
Thank you very much. Good luck on your fight.
Appreciate it, bro.
Thank you so much, Anthony. I appreciate you coming out today.
Thank you.
And to my media friends, thank you all for coming out today. I really appreciate your support, and we will see you on the next one. I will personally email you all our next media day with all the details, alerts, and everything else that you will need.